entra, faz o gol, ajuda nessa
Today,
transformação
you started
Queria te ouvir
and you had a great game.
sentimento e como é que foi?
How do you feel?
Bruno, parabéns.
How do you feel on the second term of the game? Good afternoon. I feel so happy. I feel content. Our team showed our strength during the break. We said to ourselves that we were playing a great game, even though we were 1-0. However, coach told us to keep doing our best and doing what we were doing in the first term. So we had to play our best during the game. It was very hot and we played with a lot of intensity. In no time, Flamengo played with less intensity. And we were able to win a great victory as a team.
Filipe, Bruno, tudo bem? Boa tarde. Gabriel Orfon.
Felipe and Bruno, good afternoon. I'm from the magazine Placar.
Ah, tá. É pro Bruno, desculpa, então.
The question is to Bruno.
Você que foi o melhor jogador do Mundial de Clubes de 2019.
You were chosen the best player in 2019. That was the last time Flamengo played with an European team.
Queria saber o que passa na sua cabeça.
But I would like to know what is going through your mind once again to be the best player in a game.
Olha, não acho nada que
Well,
seja diferente.
I don't think it's different.
Diante de uma grande equipe.
It was a great game, facing a great team, and I'm always playing my best. It doesn't matter what team I'm playing against. This time was an European team, and I was able to do my best to help my team, to assist with the goal and score a goal. We have a great team. All the players, the 11 players in the field and also the backups, they are the best. They know what to do. And when they start to play, we give our life to Flamengo. And I know what I have to do on the turf, on the pitch. And I have the will to play. I'm always willing to play. I'm always helping my teammates. Felipe?
That's for him first.
Just player of the match first.
Three
The questions.
Bruno, and then he will leave. Okay, then we start with Felipe.
Mas eu gostaria de te perguntar a respeito.
Afternoon, great result, but I would like to ask about your choices. You start with a different team from the first game you played. But I would like to understand why you made certain choice. Why did you replace certain games such as Danilo, and now you use Wesley as opposed to Varela and Gonzalo on the front of the playing team? But also, if you allow me, I would like to know how important it is for you to look at your backup players and know who can play the best game. As you said, I have all the players available, and I choose what I believe are the best players from the team, and I choose it according to the opposite team. So it always depends on the characteristics that the game is asking. That's how I make my decisions. Some decisions may be a surprise for you, but I have more information than you do. I have information on how the training is going, and I have micro details about the game, not only about techniques, but also tactics. For example, today I had decided Danilo would play, but I was still not aware what was going to be. But on the last minute, I decided to let Leo Pereira to keep on playing because he's on a great time of his professional life. And that's what I believe. I believe what can happen in a game. Not always I'm right, but as I say, I have to do what I believe is the right thing.
Just wanted to talk about the collective unity in the group, right? The first half, Chelsea score, you guys have a good amount of chances that don't go your way. But the second half, you guys didn't give up, kept fighting, and then get the goals that eventually win the match. Can you just talk about just the group in general and obviously the substitutes making a big difference off the bench? Thank you.
Well, that's best part for the coach, right? You make substitutions. They they go into the game and score goals and make assists. So that makes me really happy. But the thing that makes me most proud is that Wesley made a mistake, which I asked him to do it. I asked not just Wesley, but also the center backs and the midfielders to control all the balls, long balls, and we trained that. So he made a mistake, and he kept playing. He didn't stop playing. So that's the thing that makes me more proud today. So as a coach, I think nothing make me more happy than this. People who makes mistakes and don't feel the tensions of the game and just keep playing like it was a friendly. So that's my biggest achievement today.
Felipe, Mauro César, Jovem Pan, UOL e TV Cultura. O Bruno Henrique tem sido muito criticado pela...
From the Cultura TV. So Bruno Henrique has been acting very well.
Colocou o Bruno Henrique. O que
And you put Bruno Henrique to play. What happened on the pitch that made you choose him to start the play at that moment? Well, first of all, Bruno is the player he is.
Mais títulos na história do clube,
He is the player
todos nós sabemos.
and with the most amount of titles on Flamengo history. He's used to play great games, big games, and I decided not to ask him to start the game because he's been criticized because he's a striker, but not always it results in goals. However, what he's been doing on pitch in terms of details and how he close a game, or sometimes use his head and to attack in a small space, those are details. Sometimes a player may not play that well, but he can be a partner for that player. And I feel that he has all the qualities that I believe an elite player should have. He's not that young, and it may be difficult for him to play a full match, but I had no doubt that he would start a game and he would be a great striker because that game needed more speed. I felt that the game needed more speed, and I felt like we needed to maintain the ball for longer periods of time, and I felt that Bruno would be able to advance in the territory. And in terms of quality of Gerson Plata, they made a great team. Eu sou Simon Ledham, and I would like to say that today we're starting to see how the European teams are matching with the South American teams. It was an excellent victory. Botafogo also won yesterday, and I believe that may be putting more pressure on your shoulders, and the fans were on your side. And Flamengo played this great game. You had a great career in Europe yourself. And today we have to say the South Americans, such as Flamengo and the other main teams in Brazil, do you think they can match the European teams? Or is just like an imaginative distance that we create in our mind and through social media that we feel like the Brazilians will lose, but maybe not lose so bad? But do you feel like you still can keep up with this performance against European teams? As I said earlier, there is an elite in football. About 8 or 10 teams in the world are part of it, and they're superior. Outside these elite teams, I feel the Brazilians are in the same level. I would say in the second level of the European teams. And that's how we compete, how we understand the games, and how we adapt to circumstances, and how we can adapt to different kind of turfs and altitude and different weather. So for us, these make us more competitive. So I'll say we don't put ourselves down. And of course, that the players of these elite teams, they are superior to us, and that's a fact. On the pitch, anyone can win, and today is an example. We won against Chelsea, and we almost lost for Tachi at home. But that's happened with football. When a competition, we start to play to win, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Boa tarde, Filipe Luís, Rodrigo.
Good afternoon, Filipe Luís, Rodrigo Oliveira from Porto Alegre, Brazil. Congratulations on the victory. Felipe, I would like to ask about your experience with the Brazilian football and European football. How do Europeans see Brazil?
Times europeus
Brazilian teams are winning against great European teams.
pode fazer.
Do you believe this
Ao Campeonato Brasileiro.
World Cup of clubs are benefiting the Brazilian football
Futebol brasileiro pode
and would benefit other teams that are not participating of this championship?
E
Of course.
por isso que esse mundial é tão especial, né? Onde
That's why this competition is so special.
todas
We can compare to all other countries.
realmente qualquer coisa pode acontecer nesse mundo.
Anything can happen during this Club World Cups. I forgot your question. I apologize. The interpreter cannot hear the question.
Mas no Brasil nós temos
I believe in Brazil, we have a long time.
lugar em tal liga.
We always say, oh, this club would be in what position against whatever league. So Flamengo won against whatever team, then we have to win as well. We always compare to Flamengo with Palmeiras or other Brazilian teams. And for me, it's a mistake because Europeans do that. They think about themselves. They build their team and they think about winning their championship. And that's it. They don't waste time with things that won't lead us nowhere. So if Brazil play a great game, it's important for us. And we are going a moment of transition in the Brazilian football. We've been hiring excellent people, and it's changing the environment. And we have to evolve. Of course, we have to evolve. And I have no problem saying this. I copy a lot of concepts, and I'm not embarrassed to say so. And I'll say that where the elite players are, they are the best.
Com certeza também temos coisas que
But
eles não fazem.
we do things that they don't do. And that's for sure.
Aziz Al-Horeshi from Riyadiyya newspaper, Saudi Arabia. When I see your team, I saw a Jorge Jesus team. I would like to ask you about what is the impact of Jorge Jesus on your style of play and the coaching style of yours. Thank you very much.
Well, he taught me a lot, right? Tactically speaking, especially in defense, he taught me a different way of seeing football, you know, to gain terrain, to gain the pitch inside and make the pressure really high. And of course, I try to copy, you know, as I said before. When I see something good, I try to copy always and make my team play the way I like. So that's my idea and part of the way Jorge Jesus play.
Felipe aqui, Sidney Marinho, da Litoral News. A gente sabe da
Marinho for
como treinador.
Litoral News. How important it is for you as a coach to do it? For you, how do you think it was to see a young player to grow during a championship such as this? Was it something special that you say to him before he started playing on the pitch? Well, we will very well. Yeah, I remember seeing him play on the sub-20. He's a player with great passion. He has a will to win. He starts in like a Maracanã to play for 70,000 people, and he feels like he's just playing at home in a small game, but he's a big star for the team. Sometimes I don't even have to say so. I know that if I put him to play, he will create a great commotion that the opponent will be hard to play against.
Radio. Can I just get your perspective on the red card for Nicholas Jackson? Enzo Maresca said it was a clear red, and because you've worn the Chelsea shirt, have you got any sympathy for him? Because these kind of moments put a lot of pressure on a striker at a club like Chelsea.
Well, first of all, I love Chelsea. I spent one really happy season there. We won the Premier League and we won the Cup League, and I made special friends, and I play with the best players in the world for a season. and I was really happy there. So I know how the club is special and how the club needs to win titles, because I know the pressure inside the club, it happens. But he's so good, he's young, and he has all the potentials, all the quality that the club needs, and for sure he will surpass this little mistake. I think it was clear. I just see in front of me. I don't see in the TV yet, but for me it was red. And but it's just a small detail for a player which is a big player and can be one of the biggest strikers in the world.
Filipe, Isaac Louis do RG. Gostaria que falasse sobre
Could you please talk about the national pride? Because it's been many years Brazil hasn't won a World Cup. And Brazil was disrespected by its own people in a way. So
equipes brasileiras estão fazendo grande torneio.
what would you say about the performance about the Brazilian clubs now in this World Cup, putting the Brazilian football in a different level, in the level it once was in the past, and now in the same level of the best clubs in the world?
Bom português. Bom,
It was very good Portuguese you just spoke, so I believe that the Brazilians who are playing here, they are not thinking about they want to put Brazilian football in a certain level. We are here because we want to win. But if this is beneficial to Brazilian football, that's even better. But that's not why I am here for. I'm not here thinking about the Brazilian football as a whole, but about Flamengo and the Brazilian and Flamengo fans. But the level of competitiveness, we really want to make a good World Cup. We want to play well. And it's true that indeed the South American clubs are playing as if it was the final of a World Cup. Hi, from Trivela. Congratulations for the victory. And it's not a rhetorical congratulations because it was really amazing, a great match. And in Brazil, we see kind of a mistrust. Are the Europeans really committed, involved? Are they engaged in taking the World Cup seriously? But that's a perspective from the inside. You probably have a different perception. So what would you say to these fans that are somehow incapable of understanding what's the real dynamic of the game in this World Cup? I have nothing to say to the fans, actually. There is a wonderful competition, a unique opportunity for everyone. If a given club, and I don't think that's the case, but if a given club doesn't want to win, well, it's their problem. But that's not what I've seen. Given the commitment, the rivalry, the will, I would say everybody wants to win. But yes, indeed, it's different seasons, different timings, different things at stake. And we all want to win. And we are also going to be demanded if we do not win. So football is the same for everyone, and the best has to win.
Filipe, many congratulations. May I ask you to, if you can, to go through the 6 minutes in your life that went from 0-1 to 2-1 up and a man up, a fantastic change of game for your club, but you've got to react to each of these situations. Can you remember how that sequence went in your head?
Of course, I remember. It's a pleasure talking to you. First, as I said to your colleague, the thing that makes more proud today was my right back made a mistake. He lost the ball, and Chelsea scored a goal. But the team doesn't feel the pressure. They don't stop playing any moment. They kept playing the same way. Nobody lose position. Nobody try to do the game for their own. And we knew that we're gonna have chances against Chelsea because we have one way to play, and they know how to follow that path. So when I make the changes and the team start believing, and we had small little chances before the goal, we knew that we were good in the game. We could have chances. Our team gained some space on the pitch. We keep the pressure a little bit higher, and Chelsea feel that. And when we scored the first goal, of course, it's difficult. It's difficult to win against Chelsea. But then set pieces, which is really part of the game, gave us the second goal. So I'm really happy for the game, but it's just a win. Now we have to thinking about the next game, study the next game, and try to go through this group phase because it's not easy. But I'm really happy.
Man up as well.
Okay.
You did want to keep playing rather than maybe think, oh, well, we could see this out.
Yeah.
And you did keep playing, and you scored again.
Yeah. When we got a man up, that thing happens, and makes me really mad that we slowed down the game. And was 20 minutes to do, the game is over, and instead of going forward, players start to pass the ball to the side and behind. So that makes me crazy, and I don't like that. And that we lost some balls, and we with one man up, we brought Chelsea to our pitch, and I didn't like that. But the rest of the part of the game, of course, I love it, and it was a special day for me and for our club.
Thank you, Felipe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rodrigo.
Obrigado.
We'll next be joined by Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. Welcome to this post-match press conference with the coach of Chelsea, Enzo Maresca. You know the drill. Please make sure your phones are on silent. We have interpretation into English and Portuguese. And please do introduce yourselves when you ask a question. And on that note, I'll hand over to my colleague, Tom Roddy.
Okay, who'd like to get us started? Yes, Ben, in the front, please.
Ben Jacobs from TalkSport. Enzo, 6 minutes seemed to change the game. Can you give me your perspective on the two Flamengo goals and then the Nicholas Jackson red?
Yeah, as you said, 6 minutes that completely changed the dynamic of the game. I think until the first goal, second half, we start much better compared to the first half. And then the 2 goals in 2 minutes and the red card, I think changed the dynamic of the game. So yeah.
The gentleman in the front here.
Enzo, Larry Henry with The Athletic. Just wanted to ask about Cole Palmer. It was a pretty quiet performance from him today. Overall, how frustrating is that he wasn't really too involved in the game, especially in the final third? And how do you try to free him up in the third group stage match? Thank you.
No, I think it's not just about goal. Today, in the last 2 days, we try something completely different. For the first time, we play in a different structure today, just to prepare also next season to have more option. And in the last 2 days, we did something different. Today the plan was different. I think the plan was quite good for 1 hour until we considered the goal and then the second one. But I think at the end also with 10 men, I think they deserve to win the game.
Nizar, front here, please.
Hi Enzo, that's a second red card in not so many matches for Nicholas Jackson. How much of a concern is his disciplinary record, especially now he's suspended in 2 competitions at the same time?
Yeah, it's not. It's happened against Newcastle, happened today. Probably today I'm not 100% sure that it's red card compared to the Newcastle one. So it's also a little bit a bad moment for Nico in these kind of things. Unfortunately now will be out for a while at the time that probably we are here. And yeah.
The lady in the front here, please.
Hi, Enzo, Shane from Migu. What was your tactical plan for this game? Regarding the role of Rhys James and Gusto, how do you think they should approach the game?
No, yeah, I said that we try for probably the first time of the season a new system. I think we expect a tough game because I said yesterday in the press conference Flamengo is a very good team with good players, with good manager. They play very well. In Brazil, they are top of the league, unbeaten from many games. So it was not a surprise for us. We expect a tough game, but we decide also to prepare the game and to have more option in the future.
Jacob.
Hi, Enzo. Jacob Steinberg from The Guardian. Given that you have signed a new striker in Liam Delap, and we've seen 2 red cards in 4 games from Nicholas Jackson, is there a danger now that Nicholas is putting his future at Chelsea at risk because of there's someone who here can take his place?
No, the red card nothing to see with Nico future. He had the first one against Newcastle that Liam was not even here, and another one today. As I said, I think today probably, I'm not sure that it's 100% red card, but the referee decide for that, and Nico knows very well that was in both situations was not something good for the team.
Gentleman over here in the white polo top, please. Yep.
Hi, Enzo. Ed Higgs from Sky Sports. What did you make of the referee's performance today? It felt like quite a feisty game from minute 1.
A bit strange. Sometimes with the strange decision, but I think overall, especially the red card, probably, as I said, it's not 100% red card, but can be red card. So overall, I think the referee was normal. Also, we have referee from different part of the world. Probably some foul that they whistle in England, they are no foul. Depends a little bit. So we need also to assess that.
In the front here, please.
Hi, Enzo. Zach Louie from RG. Hindsight is always 20/20, but I was wondering, looking back on your original game plan and substitutions, are there any things that you regret? For example, do you regret playing Reece James in midfield apart instead of a more natural midfield like Andre Santos or Dario Sugo? Thank you.
Yeah, no. I think there are always things that you can do better, even when you win, not only when you lose like today. Then in terms of players, we try always to choose the right one for the game plan. We decide for Reece. I think for 1 hour until he was inside the pitch, he was quite good, like the rest. And then Andre, Dario, Sugo, they're gonna have a chance for sure in the future.
Liam in the second row, please.
Hi Enzo, Liam Toomey from The Athletic. We know that Nicholas Jackson apologised to his teammates in the dressing room afterwards. Is that the end of it as far as you're concerned, that you can move on? And also, the score was 2-1 when that happened. So what in your mind led to Flamengo getting the upper hand in the game and scoring twice?
Oh yeah, Nico apologized, but the last time and today we were completely in the game. If you remember Newcastle away, we were just 1-0 down, so and first half, so long time to play. And today we were 2-1, and there was still I think half an hour to play, so there was time enough to come back in the game. Then with 10 players become even more difficult.
Okay, if there's no more questions, we'll end it there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the media activities for this evening. Thank you.